Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Tech Revolution, the podcast that takes you on a journey through the history and impact of technological revolutions. I'm your host, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of technological advancements that have shaped our world as we know it. From the invention of the wheel to the rise of the internet, humanity has experienced multiple tech revolutions, each leaving an indelible mark on our society. So buckle up as we embark on this thrilling adventure through time and innovation. Let's start at the dawn of civilization, when our ancestors made a groundbreaking discovery that forever changed the course of history: the wheel. The wheel, invented around 3500 BC, revolutionized transportation, agriculture, and trade, laying the foundation for future technological advancements. Imagine a world without wheels, no carts, no chariots, and no machinery. It's safe to say that the wheel was the first tech revolution that propelled humanity forward. From trading to transportation. Over the past 500 years, two revolutions have defined the way the world's powers interact. The first was the development of deep-water navigation in the 15th and 16th centuries, which marked the start of 5 centuries of European global domination. European trading companies such as the Dutch East India Company and British East India Company soon became de facto arms of their governments, implementing foreign policy goals throughout their colonies and even administering them politically at times. The second, the Industrial Revolution, was equally transformative, redefining the roles of global empires. Though many raw materials were needed to fuel this economic revolution, energy, for both electricity and transportation, became the most politicized and technologically difficult to access. This era marked a pivotal shift from agrarian economies to industrialized societies, fueled by innovations such as the steam engine and mechanized production. Perhaps what was most unique about the Industrial Revolution was its merger of technology with industry. Key inventions and innovations served to shape virtually every existing sector of human activity along industrial lines, while also creating many new industries. The following are some key examples of the forces driving change. Agriculture. Western European farming methods had been improving gradually over the centuries. Several factors came together in 18th century Britain to bring about a substantial increase in agricultural productivity. These included new types of equipment, such as the seed drill developed by Jethro Tull around 1701. Progress was also made in crop rotation and land use, soil health, development of new crop varieties, and animal husbandry. The result was a sustained increase in yields, capable of feeding a rapidly growing population with improved nutrition. The combination of factors also brought about a shift toward large-scale commercial farming, a trend that continued into the 19th century and later. Poorer peasants had a harder time making ends meet through traditional subsistence farming. The enclosure movement, which converted common-use pasture land into private property, contributed to this trend toward market-oriented agriculture. A great many rural workers and families were forced by circumstance to migrate to the cities to become industrial laborers. Energy. Deforestation in England had led to a shortage of wood for lumber and fuel, starting in the 16th century. The country's transition to coal as a principal energy source was more or less complete by the end of the 17th century. The mining and distribution of coal set in motion some of the dynamics that led to Britain's industrialization. The coal-fired steam engine was in many respects the decisive technology of the Industrial Revolution. Steam power was first applied to pump water out of coal mines. For centuries, windmills had been employed in the Netherlands for the roughly similar operation of draining low-lying floodplains. Wind was and is a readily available and renewable energy source, but its irregularity was considered a drawback. Water power was a more popular energy source for grinding grain and other types of mill work in most of pre-industrial Europe. By the last quarter of the 18th century, however, thanks to the work of the Scottish engineer James Watt and his business partner Matthew Boulton, steam engines achieved a high level of efficiency and versatility in their design. They swiftly became the standard power supply for British and later European industry. The steam engine turned the wheels of mechanized factory production. Its emergence freed manufacturers from the need to locate their factories on or near sources of water power. Large enterprises began to concentrate in rapidly growing industrial cities. Metallurgy. In this time-honored craft, Britain's wood shortage necessitated a switch from wood charcoal to coke, a coal product, in the smelting process. The substitute fuel eventually proved highly beneficial for iron production. Experimentation led to some other advances in metallurgical methods during the 18th century. For example, a certain type of furnace that separated the coal and kept it from contaminating the metal, and a process of puddling or stirring the molten iron, both made it possible to produce larger amounts of wrought iron. Wrought iron is more malleable than cast iron and therefore more suitable for fabricating machinery and other heavy industrial applications. Textiles. The production of fabrics, especially cotton, was fundamental to Britain's economic development between 1750 and 1850. Those are the years historians commonly use to bracket the Industrial Revolution. In this period, the organization of cotton production shifted from a small-scale cottage industry, in which rural families performed spinning and weaving tasks in their homes, to a large, mechanized, factory-based industry. The boom in productivity began with a few technical devices, including the spinning jenny, spinning mule, and power loom. First human, then water, and finally steam power were applied to operate power looms, carding machines, and other specialized equipment. Another well-known innovation was the cotton gin, invented in the United States in 1793. This device spurred an increase in cotton cultivation and export from U.S. slave states, a key British supplier. Chemicals. This industry arose partly in response to the demand for improved bleaching solutions for cotton and other manufactured textiles. Other chemical research was motivated by the quest for artificial dyes, explosives, solvents, fertilizers, and medicines, including pharmaceuticals. In the second half of the 19th century, Germany became the world's leader in industrial chemistry. Transportation. Concurrent with the increased output of agricultural produce and manufactured goods, arose the need for more efficient means of delivering these products to market. The first efforts toward this end in Europe involved constructing improved overland roads. Canals were dug in both Europe and North America to create maritime corridors between existing waterways. Steam engines were recognized as useful in locomotion, resulting in the emergence of the steamboat in the early 19th century. High-pressure steam engines also powered railroad locomotives, which operated in Britain after 1825. Railways spread rapidly across Europe and North America, extending to Asia in the latter half of the 19th century. Railroads became one of the world's leading industries as they expanded the frontiers of industrial society. Factories sprung up, cities expanded, and the way people lived and worked underwent a radical transformation. The Industrial Revolution set the stage for mass production, urbanization, and the modern capitalist economy, forever altering the fabric of human existence. The electric and transportation industries quickly gained political power, and by the early 1900s, oil became the fuel source of choice for transportation. Oil companies, in turn, quickly became instruments for accomplishing their government's geopolitical objectives. For example, for more than 60 years, the United Kingdom's Anglo-Persian Oil Company, which developed the Iranian petroleum industry, influenced British policy toward Tehran. Not only did the company profit London financially, but it also sold oil to the Royal Navy below market value and helped to reinforce Iran's alliance with the West in the first half of the Cold War. When Iran nationalized its petroleum industry in 1951, London even helped orchestrate a coup d'etat to regain control. As of recent, the relationship between governments and oil companies is far more nuanced. In the wake of the Cold War, the West has become more reluctant or less able politically to back revolutions and coups d'etat to protect its energy interests. Modern Western international oil companies, even those whose governments hold sizable stakes in them, are largely independent actors that lack the kind of monopoly on government sales that, for example, the Anglo-Persian Oil Company had. International oil companies retain their political sway in negotiating with countries, however, thanks to their formidable financial and technological resources. As we step into the 20th century, we encounter another monumental leap in technology, the digital revolution. This era has seen the rise of computers, the internet, and the digitalization of information. The invention of the microprocessor in the 1970s, which paved the way for the personal computer, while the birth of the World Wide Web in the 1990s connected the world like never before. The digital revolution brought about unprecedented changes in communication, commerce, and entertainment, ushering in the age of information and transforming the way we live, work, and interact with one another. Now, we find ourselves in the midst of the ongoing tech revolution, characterized by advancements in artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnology, and renewable energy. From self-driving cars to gene editing, the pace of innovation shows no signs of slowing down. We stand at the threshold of a future where the boundaries between the physical, digital, and biological worlds continue to blur, presenting both exciting possibilities and profound challenges for humanity. So, what can we learn from these historical tech revolutions? One thing is clear: technology has the power to reshape human civilization, often in ways we can't fully predict. As we move forward, it's crucial to consider the ethical, social, and environmental implications of our technological pursuits. By understanding the past, we can better navigate the complexities of the present and shape a more sustainable and inclusive future for generations to come. That's all for today's episode of Tech Revolution. I hope you've enjoyed our journey through the tech revolutions that have shaped our world. Join us next time as we delve into the fascinating world of digital transformation era and its impact on society. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring the ever-evolving landscape of technology. This is your host signing off.